All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So today we take a look at a follow-up video for the SoundCore Liberty Air 2 Pros. Now, I've been using these exclusively with my one device for phone calls, and I do a lot of phone calls. So this is why this video is going to be not in depth, but I'm going to talk about phone call quality and things like that, the noise canceling, just everything about it that I think you might want to know about it. So. First things first is, the name Pro, companies tend to put that on devices and they label it as, okay, this is the professional version of this product. Now, having both versions of this, the non-Pro and this Pro version, honestly, I don't see where the Pro name comes into play. It might just be to let you know that it's a step up. But I use these the exact same way that I use the other version, the previous generation, which is just the Liberty Air 2s, without the Pro logo on the side of it. But these look a little different. They feel a little different, and they sound a little different. But I want to talk about sound first. So sound quality. I noticed on these that the bass doesn't hit as hard. I've personalized the equalizers the same. And for me, depending on what I'm listening to, I want to hear the thump. I've changed out the ear tips, and they sound good. Let's be clear, they sound really, really good. However, I don't notice very much of an upgrade compared to the previous model, if I'm being totally honest. They do sound a little better, just a slight hair better. But the bass doesn't appear to hit as hard. I don't know, I could be way off, but if you have these, tell me what you think about how the bass hits in certain genres of music. So, with that being said, that doesn't mean that these are bad. Not at all. I'm in direct comparison with the previous generations, and sometimes it's just a slight upgrade. That's what these could possibly be. Even though they use the name Pro, they just gave it a slight upgrade like cell phones get. So that when it comes to listening to music, they sound fantastic. But I don't know that I noticed that much of a difference over the previous generation. Now, let's talk about the active noise canceling. So, the active noise canceling works. Let's just say that. It works. Pure note technology, it works. 6 microphones for calls, it works. But I think it's going to come down to several things. First of all, my hearing might not be as good as the next person. Yours might be a lot better. You're going to be more sensitive to something. I'm not going to be as sensitive to something. That's just how it works. We all hear things differently and we see things differently for sure. You might think a color is blue and I might say it's red. That is totally possible. Anybody ever seen that dress picture where everybody's naming the dress all these different colors? Remember that? And it turned out it was actually blue. So that's how hearing is too. Hearing is the same way. We hear what we want to hear. So making phone calls, it cancels out the sound. There's nothing really like groundbreaking about this noise canceling. Yes, I know it has the 6 microphones for the calls. Everyone says that I sound great. But some calls that I started up, I was on a conference call for over an hour. I'm always on calls, so I was on a call for about an hour, and I decided to plug these in. And when I plugged them in, I noticed that the person said, "Wait, it's like I shouldn't say plug them in. I started them up. I guess I should say. I don't know why I'm saying plug them in. But once I started these up, the person heard like a different. They could kind of see that I did something different. But then I didn't say, "Oh, I switched to my Bluetooth." I just said, "Can you hear me now?" And they said, "Oh, okay, there we go." Yeah, and it was like it came back. But that's normal sometimes to transition from your phone to your Bluetooth or your earphones or whatever you're doing to your car. But for me, most of the time, people don't know when I'm transitioning, and I don't know what the other person heard, but they sounded the same to me, so they must have heard a connection or something like that. But ultimately, I was on that call for an hour, and no problems whatsoever. None whatsoever. I mean, I've made several calls, but that's the longest call I've done since I had these. That's the longest conference call I've been on since I've had these. And an hour is a long time to talk on the phone to someone. And they did fine. No issues whatsoever. None whatsoever. So call quality, music, all great. all fantastic. Battery life, I have not charged these since I charged them initially a week ago, so I haven't charged them. But they're still the case. What I've learned about these is it appears the case is really charging these a lot because the case dropped to 85% on day 3, I think it was. And again, I use my Bluetooths. I use them a lot. So using them is what you have them for. So the case is working. And also to note, this case is wireless charging capable. So you can drop this on a wireless charger. I suggest just plugging in. That's what I would do. I don't suggest using a wireless charger because it's always slower. So keep that in mind. Now, again, I did set up the equalizer, and I made sure that I had it set to my specs. But straight real talk. Get these if you want to have a newer body style. They're lighter in the ear. They don't feel as heavy as the previous generation. They sound just as good. They obviously have Bluetooth 5.0. The battery life should be fantastic for you. It depends on how you're using them. That's what's going to happen to you. So, they're claiming that you get a 45% boost in your bass and 30% boost in your wider frequency band. But again, maybe it's just me, but I didn't notice that big of a jump. I would say maybe I got a 20% jump in bass, if anything. And obviously the wide range sounds fantastic, but basically what I'm telling you is if you have the previous generation, I don't know that you should run out and just grab these. But I'm a SoundCore fiend, you know what I'm saying? So don't do what I do as I say. But I would say if you have the previous generations, you really shouldn't upgrade yet, unless you lose them or they break or something like that. But if you don't have any of the Liberty Air 2s, I think you definitely should go to the Pro just because why not? You're probably going to pay about the same amount or less. So you might as well just get the latest of what they're offering. And these can hold you over for some years to come. Now they're claiming 26 hours of playback total. Obviously that's seeing as though you kept these running for a full day or whatever. They're going on a 24-hour clock, but obviously when you got Bluetooth, you don't have to charge them. They're getting charged when they go back into the case, and you don't have to use them 24 hours a day. Now, if I'm working or something like that, or I'm a janitor and I want to have something in my ear all day, I don't know that I would want to use Bluetooth. I would want to do hardwire, depending on what I'm doing. That way I don't have to worry about running out of battery. And then also I could use FM radio if my phone has an FM radio. But nonetheless, these are the SoundCore's Liberty Air 2 Pros. The connection is really simple. I demoed that in the first video. There's really not much more I could say about these. But I just feel like it's a good purchase, but only if you don't have them. That's what I would say. If you don't have the Liberty Air 2s, I would say go ahead and grab these just for general purposes. Like I said, they look better. They come in 4 colors. You know what I'm saying? So this is the white right here, and they come in pink, they come in blue, and they come in black. Now I actually have a brand new black pair as well too. But the blue ones to me are the best looking color of all these. I like the white, but instantly when you're wearing something like this, people think they're AirPods, And again, that following Apple trend isn't always a good thing. I don't know if any other company had the little long tail like this for Bluetooths. I mean, obviously we had that one that curved around our ear and it looked cool and everything, but having 2 out of your ear like this, I don't recall any other company doing that, but I'm pretty sure some of you do, if they did before Apple. But obviously when you're wearing something in your ear that's white, they automatically think it's AirPods. I'm like, no, these are not AirPods, but nonetheless, these do sound better than AirPods, that's for sure. So if you're wondering, do these sound better than AirPods? They definitely sound better than AirPods. And I can only confirm earbuds that I actually have. So I know a lot of people posting, do they sound better than such and such? And I'm like, if I have them, I'll tell you. If I don't have them, I really can't comment on that. So a little bit of a detailed look and response to myself, a follow-up video on the SoundCore Liberty Air 2 Pros. Connectivity issues, I haven't had any connectivity issues, no problems whatsoever. They last me for quite some time during the day. And you'll continuously have a charge. You will probably get more than 20 plus hours total on a single charge with the case and the earbuds, depending on what you're doing. So you should be able to make it through your full day. 10 minutes of charge should get you a couple of hours probably. So like if they're starting to die on you, what I normally do is wear one or the other so I can hear people around me at all times. But it's up to you to decide how you want to use these. If you want to put them both in, if you're in a loud environment, definitely slap them both in because the noise canceling will help you out. But there it is, man. It's your man Jay. A long video on the Anker SoundCore Liberty Air 2 Pros. Are they worth it? Yeah, they're definitely worth it, but not if you already have the previous generation. Stick with what you got. These are great, though. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.